Good morning, everybody. My name is Romel Santiago, and I'm the owner of Romeo Sensation LLC. So I've already talked about a couple of the really important components of either finding a therapist or reestablishing that connection with the body. So in the last video, I referenced the feelings wheel. Now, the feelings wheel is based off of nonviolent communication, which is something that I am a huge advocate for. Nonviolent communication. I'll do another video on NVC or nonviolent communication. Um, so the feelings wheel is this huge wheel that has three different layers. The inner circle is are not feelings. I do not consider them to be feelings. I consider them to be categories. So this would be anger, disgust, afraid, surprised, sad, ashamed, peaceful, loving, trusting, intrigued, joyful, and proud. Right? Half of the wheel, or the wheel is split into two parts. One part is feelings when our needs are not being met. So this is the category of ashamed, sad, surprised, afraid, disgust, and anger. Then on the other side of the wheel, it says feelings when our needs are being met. There is no such thing as a positive or negative feeling. There's no such thing as a good or bad feeling. Feelings, just like coping skills, are never going to be good, bad, positive, or negative. They're always going to be what exactly we need to be experiencing in that moment. ADD moment. Coping skills are life saving mechanisms that your brain has created in order to keep you alive. So, if your brain has created this to keep you alive, there is no such thing as a bad or negative coping skill. It is exactly what your brain has deemed is what is necessary in order for us to continue surviving, because at the end of the day the brain's the only job it has is to keep you alive. So the approach that I have to therapy is coping skills and feelings are never good or bad. With that being said, anytime a client tells me that, I ask them, how are you doing today? And they say, good, good is not on the feelings wheel. Good is not a feeling. So, this is a wonderful opportunity for folks to use the feelings wheel to get a better understanding of their emotional state, right? We oftentimes default to a couple of different emotions. If the clerk at Target, as you're checking out, asks you how you're doing and your response is good, well, that's not necessarily a feeling. I'm not suggesting that you go around being vulnerable as hell with everybody, or that you're telling everybody your business. But this is an opportunity for you to check in with yourself, right? If somebody at the grocery store asks you, how are you? Right? This is an opportunity for you to check in with yourself. How am I? Well, right now, the internal dialogue is, I'm feeling anxious and insecure. I really don't want to be at the store. I think I only have $10 in my checking account and $15 in my savings account. I don't know how I'm gonna pay for all of the shit that I need. The other people don't need to know that unless they're in your inner circle. So what you could say is, one of my favorite default phrases is, I'm batshit crazy but living the dream, right? But coming up with your own phrase, your own way of expressing where you're more at than just defaulting to good or bad, right? Right. So if all of this is going through your head, I'm thinking I'm feeling insecure, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling afraid, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling annoyed, right? What am I going to tell this person who just asked me how I'm doing? Well, right now I'm frustrated, but doing pretty awesome. I'm frustrated, but fill in the blank. Coming up with a way for you to begin being honest with yourself. It's not about other people. It's about how often do we actually have the time or the opportunity to check in with how are we actually feeling. We oftentimes don't. And then when somebody actually asks, we default to this very generic phrase of, I'm okay, or I'm good, or I'm awesome. No, right? This is an opportunity for you not to necessarily be vulnerable with with the rest of the world, but for you to begin checking in with yourself. If we're not checking in when other people are asking us, how are we doing? How are we feeling? How are you creating that space that you begin checking in with yourself, that you begin asking yourself these questions? So if you don't start asking yourself these questions, then maybe the a wonderful option is to begin thinking about this when other people ask us, right? So I'm going to encourage you to practice actually letting somebody know one of the emotions that you're experiencing. If it's a friend, a neighbor, a cat, the person at the checkout, the person at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, wherever you get your morning coffee, your partner. How often does our partner check in with us and we say, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm this, I'm that? No. This is an opportunity for you to begin checking in with yourself and for you to be practicing a level of honesty with those around you. So, on that note, I'm going to end this video, but I hope you all have a wonderful, amazing rest of this beautiful day, and I will see you soon.